What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Smells Like Hope podcast here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. That's right, the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. That network's so nice, I had to say it twice. I'm your host, Rob Wilds. And this has been a long time coming, guys. I've done some pretty interesting podcasts on here in the past. I even had good old Jake the Snake on, but this one is going to help a lot of people because we're bringing on Brooke Wilds. That's right. Tonight, your name is Wilds.
Tonight I'm Wilds.
So just to give a little bit of background history, but we're going to get into all of it. But just to get it started is we've been estranged for years due to, obviously, the point of this show, drug addiction. The whole point of this show has always been to send out messages of inspiration, send out messages of hope, give you evidence, give you proof, so to speak, that it does get better. And it does get better. And after a long stint and both of us going through our ridiculous drug and alcohol problems,
right
now Brooke is 6 months sober. The family is coming.
Rob,
almost.
Today's 7 months.
7 months.
Today, yep.
Ooh. That was my really weak Arsenio. So, okay. She's 7 months. This month is going to be my 3-year mark. By the grace of God. Yay! Yay, us! And really quick, I'm sorry, I'm not a good multitasker. I got myself, somebody got me on Facebook jail again. So I'm just sending out the link to a couple of people who can post it up in some of the cool sobriety groups that I belong to, because I believe this is going to be very helpful.
I hope.
And we're sending out to Kevin Dove, my man, my dude.
Kevin! Oh my God! Hi, Kevin!
Well, he's not on just yet. I just sent him
the link. I got excited. Hi, Kevin.
I know, man. Just not being on, being able to post in the groups kind of sucks. But that's okay, because when I'm off Facebook jail, this is going to get a lot of hits because it's going in all the groups. So let's just get into it.
All right.
I mean, your problem definitely goes back a lot farther than mine. It was probably more serious than mine. So why don't we just get started on when you got started?
When I got started, mine started. Oh man, I started drinking probably around 14 years old when my addiction started. So mine started back with lunch money, saving lunch money. Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'd save up that lunch money, and every weekend I was a weekend warrior. Mine started out as a weekend warrior. And quickly progressed, but that's pretty much, I think, how it progressed for me. I started at 14 years old drinking.
Yeah, you and those two little shits at the end of the block.
Yeah, those shits at the end of the block. And the shits that I hung out with in school, because when I was younger, I was bullied pretty bad. You remember that?
Sure.
Yeah, you remember that. Yeah, I got in with the bad crowd. Who accepts you? Who accepts the bullied kid at school when you get to high school? The bad crowd. So I got in with the bad crowd, and me and the bad crowd became the weekend warriors. And it really was. It was just drinking for me for years and years and years. And then, in my 20s, when I was about 21 years old, I got a pretty bad ovarian cyst, and a doctor prescribed me some Norcos. And
that's how it starts.
That's how it started, my pill addiction. I fell in love. That was my Prozac. That was my cure to my social anxiety. I wasn't the most social person, but I felt like, wow, this is everything I needed right here. Like, this is my cure-all in this pill.
The escape.
Yeah, like it made me, to me, it made me friendly. It made me work harder, smarter, it made me a better mom. It was just everything to me. And in actuality, it was my biggest downfall. It made me angry. It made me discontent. It made me terrible. It made me an absent mother. It made me a horrible daughter, a horrible sister. But in my head, it made me all these great things that I wasn't. And it just progressed from there, from Norcos to Oxycontins. And yeah, it was a battle for years and years, this addiction, this pills. And then the doctor cuts me off completely. No more.
As they do.
So what do? I go doc shopping. That's what I did. I go to urgent cares. I'm going because my primary care doctor sees what I'm doing. Like, yeah, no more for you. I'm like thinking, oh, I got neck pain and I need CAT scans and I need this and I need that. And my parents are getting their pills and I'm stealing their pills and they don't even take theirs. They're like, oh, my mom, her throws out her back and she needs a pill that she's had hers, they're like expired and she goes to get one. And what the hell happened to my pills? I don't know. I didn't know you had them. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I heard I don't know, and this was before I really even considered myself having a drug problem, and I was already onto your shit. Thing is, I was pleading with people, say, look, man, she's got a problem. Somebody needs to listen to me, and of course, you play the act very well, so nobody wanted to listen to me. They thought I was just putting you down. I guess I don't know.
I was very good. I mean,
yeah, I know.
It wasn't even, I don't know. Like I was really good. Like I could have been an actress. I could have been a fucking actress. The award goes to. I was very good.
All of us put on Oscar-worthy.
Exactly. Us addicts and alcoholics can play the part very well when we need to.
That is correct.
We are very good. Yeah, we are very good.
Kind of went hand in hand with the good wrestling performing, I guess.
Right. Well, it just started out with the painkillers, and then it went to Xanax. I started discovering Xanax, and then I took a break from drinking for a while. Like I didn't drink for many years actually. Like drinking was not even my thing after that for a while. Like after my teen years, drinking was nothing. After I discovered painkillers and shit, like drinking was nothing to me. I didn't even want alcohol. I just wanted them painkillers.
Or whatever other kind of narcotics you can get your hands on. That's why you kept yourself dating such horrible people. Just,
man. I mean,
besides, with the exception of Jeff, your boyfriends were all a bunch of fucking dirtbags, but they all had the dope. They all had the narcotics.
Right. I would pick the men that had what I wanted. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Then you'd stay perma-loaded, and you guys would just abuse each other verbally and mentally and everything. You guys just abuse each other. But you all stay together because every junkie wants somebody to use with.
Exactly. Misery loves company. That's it.
Right.
We do.
Misery loves company.
As long as you have my drug of choice, you're my drug of choice. Like, you got what I need, and I'm what they need, and they have what I need.
I don't think it was even so much.
And you give me my shit. Like that's
I don't even think it was so much your drug of choice, just a drug. What do you got?
Drug's a drug. Like I didn't give a shit. It got me fucked up, then I wanted it.
At least you didn't get on the heroin.
No, I never did. Heroin was never my thing. Luckily, it could have been very easily, but no, luckily, God. Well, we'll get more into what I've progressed into later on because my I nevers became stuff I have done. So
And the thing is,
Um,
I go onto these groups and I hear a lot of people crying about the damage that they've done to their children. But I tell them all the time on there, it's not like I don't even think you guys are aware it's happening. You're just so lost in the haze of being hammered all the time. You don't see what's going on.
oh,
What's your
well.
take? What's your take on that?
You don't see it when you're in the active addiction because you're so selfish and blind to your addiction until they're all grown up. Like my son now, who's all grown up, he's going to be 23 years old, and I haven't talked to him, and I didn't see what I had done. It took me to move away and put some distance between us and to see the actual damage I did do. He stopped talking to me completely. I haven't heard this kid's voice in over 2.5 years. Um, you don't see the damage you do. You really don't. When you're in active addiction, you don't see the damage you do to your children. It's and when you're in it, you just don't understand it. It's so hard to explain, but
I
you
think
just,
most people listening understand. I think they get it. I get it.
it's, it's so sad
Yeah.
because when you want them back, us addicts, instant gratification. And everybody
Yeah,
says,
you
give it
want it
time.
now.
You want it now, but you got to give it time. The fact that he's even written me 2 times in 2 years on Facebook Messenger. I'm not allowed to have his phone number. I'm not allowed to know where he lives. I'm not allowed anything. Like, he,
Yeah. But
he's
he
pissed.
is but he's kind of listening to me on this whole thing of following my lead on how I handle it. He's looking to me to see if I believe that the 10th time or whatever it is through a program and through getting clean, that it's for real this time.
Yeah, this time he's taking me to prison. This time he's taking me to prostitution. This time he's taking me to living under a bridge.
Yep.
This time he's taking me to shooting it up, putting a needle in my arm. This time he's taking me to
And you were
calling
shooting
like
meth. You were
I was
shooting meth.
shooting I was shooting meth. Yeah,
Right.
methamphetamines. I was calling my mother, telling her to call me in an hour if she didn't hear from me in an hour, then I'm
Yeah,
dead.
I remember
Um,
that.
filing missing persons on me, not knowing if I was dead or alive. This time it's taken me so low. Talk about bottom.
Yeah,
I was
you're
in the
right.
cesspool. I was in the
Well, hold
cesspool.
on. We're getting to the end. Let's rewind a little bit.
Right.
So
I'm just
you're in
saying, like, go ahead.
you're in California, and I had moved off to Texas, and Dad thought the best thing to save you would be to get you the hell out of Sacramento. So he pulls everything up, bam, bam. You guys move out here to Pittsburgh,
Right.
where
And
he's thinking, okay, this is the answer. There's lots of family because we weren't close with the family in California at all, besides grandparents. It was really just us against the world. So he moves you out
right.
here where there's a whole bunch of extended family, and that worked out about as well as throwing a bag of shit against a wall. Because
Right. You
Pittsburgh has a lot of drugs.
Pittsburgh does have a lot of drugs. You can geographically change, but you take you with you wherever you go.
That's correct.
That's, so yeah, I mean, it's
But
funny because as soon as we went to Pittsburgh, I'm going around in Mom's closet, and I kick something in the closet, and I hear that magical fucking
yeah, that
pill
rattle.
bottle shake rattle, and I'm like, oh, the fucking angels start singing. I'm like, what is that? And it's like 400 Tylenol threes, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, well, I haven't had anything in like, I don't know, 2 weeks. So I'm like, oh shit. Well, you know, the addict in me took one of them bottles and their shit was gone in like
A
a
week.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, a week. So then I go up and I get the other one, and of course she throws her fucking back out, goes to get one.
Where are my pills? I don't know.
Yep, comes down and is like, Brooke, what the fuck? And I just looked at her and shook my head, and I was like, I don't know what you want me to say. And she just walked back upstairs. 3 days later, only time I moved was to go pee and go back on the couch. I didn't even eat. And I'm in the basement. She comes down and looks at me, and I stood up. And after 10 years of fighting this, I looked at her and I said, Mom, I'm a fucking drug addict. And she goes, and she walked over, she gave me a hug, and she said, well then let's get you some fucking help. And I was like, all right, let's do this. So I called a rehab, and I called Greenbrier, and that's when I went to Greenbrier for the first time.
I just gotta say, Greenbrier sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Eh.
But I went to
They don't
Greenbrier.
like their jobs. They take it out on the patients.
Yeah, Greenbrier is not my favorite rehab. But I went to Greenbrier. That was my first rehab. And I attended Greenbrier and I completed every rehab I've been to, I've completed. I've always been serious. You know, I've always wanted to get clean.
Really? See,
I did.
I always look at your trips to rehab as a dodge when things were getting too hot for you around the house. Go away for 30 days, come back, be good till things were settling down again, then just back to it.
No, I really did. I really, in my heart, I've always wanted to be a clean person. I don't know. It's just, there's something in me. I don't know, man. I get that fucking itch. As soon as I get that itch, or I get upset, it's like, it's that excuse in me that I can just go use again. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
It's
I feel like
there's always a reason and an
there's always
excuse.
a reason, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sick. I'm sick in the head. Even now here, when things get tough, I still, in my head, glorify it, and then I have to go back and play the tape in my head when I get upset. I mean, I'm still always gonna be sick. It's a lifelong battle.
But it does get easier.
It does.
If it didn't get easier, there's no way that I would have made it to coming up on 3 years. I would have fallen off if it didn't get easier.
We get over this. We think, oh, damn, man, it'd be nice to have a drink. Oh, but if I can't just have a drink though. I'm not the type that can just have a fucking glass of wine. I have a whole box and then go buy a bottle.
A whole box. Why do you gotta
Yeah,
say box? Why can't it be a bottle? It's gotta be a box.
because I'm a cheap bitch. I'm a
Because the
cheap bitch. I
boxes
want
are
a whole
cheaper.
box. I want a box, and then I want to go get a fifth, and then that's me, because that's me.
Like I said to you on the phone the other night, I'm not an alcoholic, but I know that there's that little voice in the back of my head going, well, hey, you're not an alcoholic. Let's go out and drink every fucking night until you are one. So I know how easy it would be for me to change gears and
Yep.
have my new addiction. So, yeah, how many times did you go through inpatient? 10?
I've been through inpatient. No, I've been through eight
8.
inpatients. Mm-hmm.
Not including your stint in jail, which was one long ass inpatient.
Well, that would be 9 if you want to do
Yeah.
that. Actually, if you want to be technical, I've been to jail about 4 times.
Yeah, but you only did weekenders or a week.
Yeah.
You kept getting lucky before they hit you really hard on this last one. And
They
this
sure
last one,
did.
do you want to tell them what you did?
Yeah, I got aggravated assault on a police officer, but it got dropped down to simple. Luckily, thank God. They dropped it down to a simple assault as long as I followed treatment. If I followed treatment and did what I did, then they drop down to a simple assault. So
So this whole time that you're still in Pennsylvania, it just, oh God, it was just a nightmare. It was getting exponentially worse. The anger, the explosions, the constant attack. And when you were having drunk anger explosions, holy shit, what a ride that was. That was impossible. Cops constantly getting called, overdoses on the back porch. I mean, it was just, it never, it got to a point where it just kept getting worse. It didn't get any better. And we all thought you were just a goner. There was nothing that we could do for you because you didn't want the help.
unfortunately, I don't even remember any of those incidences. I remember waking up in the hospital. That's all I remember. Even when I went to prison this last time with the assault on the officer, I just woke up in prison. I don't remember
Huh.
anything. I don't remember how I got there. I don't remember. I had to ask them the magistrate had to tell me my charges.
Wow.
Like, I didn't remember any of it. I still don't. Like, I don't get blips. I don't get anything. Like, they had to tell me I had to read my docket to get to read what happened, how I was acting, what I did. Like, that's how bad, like, I got. When I woke up in the hospital from the overdoses at the house, I don't remember anything.
All right. We
Nothing.
have actually a comment here from
Oh,
Ashley Gleason saying she works in addiction medicine. And for anyone who can beat it, it's amazing. And I really appreciate that comment. She got followed up with addiction is hard, but keep your head up. Yeah. So I
yeah,
appreciate those comments from Ashley because it's nice to hear somebody who's a clinician chiming in rather than just your average like housewife who thinks, oh, addiction is not a disease. Addiction is just it's a decision. And, what I say to people who tell me that, go fuck yourself hard. Because
addiction, that's funny because, if I were to go out and use right now, yes, that would be a choice. That would be a choice of mine. But when I'm in active addiction, I don't have a choice anymore. When I'm
and
out there ripping and running, I don't have a choice. I can't choose to put it down anymore. That's what people don't understand about
right,
addiction. You know,
sure, you got the weekend warriors who can go get themselves an 8 ball of coke, do half of it for the weekend, and put it in their dresser drawer and forget about it for a couple of weeks. When me, no, if there's an 8 ball in my, no, it's getting done. There's no way it's just gonna sit there and I'm gonna forget about
exactly.
it. Yeah, just like
Right.
people who can go out and get drunk on the weekends and then go back to their life. But what I like to tell people, really, instead of go fuck yourself hard, that was a joke. When they tell me, oh, it's not a disease, it's okay. So the doctors and the scientists, they're wrong, but you're right. It's not a
Right.
disease because you know more than doctors.
Exactly. And I used to be that one, even in addiction, having a hard time accepting that. But well, educate yourself.
And
Educate yourself.
nobody wants to admit at first that they're an addict. Like
Yeah.
you went and told mom that you were an addict, and I actually that day when I went to Greenbrier Gateway, I called mom, said, I need help right now. I need you to come get me. And what the next day I was in rehab. So like
Yep.
moms are good. Moms are good to be there when you need them for the most part.
We got a good one. We got a good one. We lucky
Yeah.
with the one we got.
Okay, so now you're going through this rampage and you decide to tell us that's it. Fuck you guys. I'm going to California. I don't want anything to do with you guys ever again. To where I responded with buying you a plane ticket, putting $1,500 in your hand and saying, go see how it works out for you. And it didn't. Like immediately didn't work.
No, no, I lost everything out there. Um, well, I was actually straight at first. I wasn't using, I wasn't anything. I was staying with Laura. I went out, had a beer, went back to her house. She flipped out on me, told me I wasn't allowed to have a beer because her husband is he's a recovering alcoholic. I respected that. I was still on Suboxone though. and for my pill addiction, which I took those as I was spun. A lot of people have feelings about Suboxones. Look, they saved my fucking life. So, they saved me. I didn't abuse them. I took them as I was supposed to. I was my last prescription of them. I was trying to wean myself off. So I was taking them far and few between. I had taken one and we were going to like a recovery, her and I would go to recovery church functions.
Right.
And so I took one because I was going through my withdrawals because I hadn't taken them very often. And I started nodding off in the group because I don't take them very often. So one of her little church buddies came up to her and said that I was on like fucking heroin because I was nodding off in the group. And she came up to me that night after group, kicked me out of her house, told me that what her church friend said. I said, no, Lord, let me explain. And she didn't want to hear it, kicked me out of her house. I became homeless.
And is that when you started with spiking meth?
That's when I started spiking meth.
Yeah. That's when we started getting the phone calls of the mob is chasing you and they're gonna you don't hear back from me in an hour, I'm dead.
Gangbangers, not mob, but gangbangers, yeah. Like
gangbangers, that's right, yeah. Okay.
But but I did go, I was walking behind Rayleigh Field, and that's how I lost my front teeth. This big dude came up, told me to suck his dick. I told him to fuck himself. He knocked my teeth out and raped me. That actually happened. Yeah.
Okay.
That sucked.
I would imagine it wasn't pleasant.
Yeah, that's kind of when I started doing the whole meth thing, was after that happened.
So then you got yourself in some legals in Sacramento, or did you dodge those?
I dodged those. It was after that is when I really started going hard with the meth. After that dude did that to me, I said, fuck it. I started drinking. I started spiking meth and hooked up with some weird people. And then I thought people were after me. And that's when I called the police. And they said that I was missing. And that's when I found out your mom filed a missing persons on me.
Not just that, I put out all hands on deck on Facebook. Anybody who knew you.
I know, but I didn't have a phone then, so that's how I found out. Was because the police told me. Because I walked into this bar with a fucking little razor blade that I found on the street. That's how I was going to protect myself. I was like, this is my only protection. They're like, why did you walk in there with a razor blade? They thought I was like going to kill myself. Like, it's the only way I can protect myself.
I will give you tetanus.
I know, dude. I was so fucking, I mean, now that I look back on it, it's hilarious, but then it's kind of sad. But now at least I can laugh about it. I'm like walking around this little razor blade, like thinking gangbangers are after me. Like, I'm looking at, like, I was in a total psychosis. Complete and utter meth psychosis. It was so fucking bad. And then let's talk about Reno.
That's when you
did the wellness check on me. Right. When I was calling mom every hour on the hour saying, if you don't hear from me in an hour, it means I'm dead.
Because they followed me from Sacramento.
Yes. Mom was like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? I think about this shit now and I'm like, oh my God, poor mom.
Wow. It was rough. So your next arrest, or your arrest came not in Reno, but in Vegas. Is that right?
I was arrested in Reno as well. Yeah.
Okay. So you were on a cross country fuckery tour.
Yeah, it was Reno, Vegas, Louisiana. Yeah, and then Pennsylvania in Wilkes-Barre and Lehigh. Yeah.
So between New Orleans and Pennsylvania was just blurry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Continuing the fuckery tour.
Yeah.
By the way, that's one of my new favorite words I heard recently. All this fuckery has to stop. Like, oh God, I'm going to use that every chance I get. That and
Yeah,
hobo. I love the word hobo.
the word hobo.
Hobo. I love the word hobo. Go figure.
Yeah,
So yeah,
man.
you
Well, I
spit in
was a
this.
giant hobo.
So you
Yeah,
so you spit in this cop's face, and that's what got
yeah,
you the assault. And then you
yes.
got a judge who was just not forgiving because just because you spit. I mean, not saying just because, but just because you spit in the cop's face, or was there like he looked at your record along with?
Just because I spit in the cop's face during a pandemic. He said he would have rather me punched the cop. And I rolled my eyes at him and went, okay,
Yeah,
I
so the
doubt
cop could.
that.
So then the cop could have given you some stick time.
Right. I doubt that. But
If
okay,
you
we'll go
pushed a
with that.
cop, yeah, they'd go to work on you a little bit, at least taser you.
Yeah, let's go with that. You would have rather me punch the cop. All right, I'm gonna take down my mask.
Okay, you're not that swollen.
Over here.
Hmm. For people watching, she just had to have a whole bunch of everything removed like yesterday, and she's still doing the podcast today. Now that's a fucking sobriety warrior. All right, so now Brooke is sitting in jail and coming off all these drugs because in jail they don't care. They just lay in your cell and suffer and shit yourself, and who cares? Go to hell.
Yeah, I was going into seizures in jail, yeah. The DT is really bad.
Which sucks. I mean, you figure I'm not saying jail is supposed to be like a pleasant experience, but don't let somebody have seizures in an 8x10. Come on.
Oh, they didn't give a fuck.
No, they don't care. They truly do not.
No, they did not care. They did not care at all.
They peek in and find you dead. That's just an extra bunk now. Pricks.
Yeah, pretty much.
But on the
Well,
upside, I mean, in jail, did you take advantage of the AA and NA things
they
that they
didn't have it
did?
going on with COVID. They didn't have any of that going on with COVID.
Oh,
They
shit.
canceled all that.
Because, boy, I
Yep,
did. My
they
last
canceled
time
it
in
all.
jail, I did it all.
They canceled all that.
I guess that makes sense.
They had nothing going on.
Well, so then you came out, and finally the judge decided to show you some mercy because he was going to send you away for 2 years, right?
This was that. Luckily, I got a yeah. He was. I got a different prosecutor. They switched prosecutors, and the cop, my arresting officer, honestly, I think he was like, "Fuck, is she still in there? Like, let her go to treatment." Jesus Christ.
Real quick, show this awesome sober living house you're in.
Oh yeah, I live in a mansion, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, get
I
that.
started
I
from
mean,
under a bridge, and now I'm in a mansion. Smells like cow shit out here, though. Yeah, this is the outside. This is our office, like an in-laws quarter, is what it was. Yeah, see, that's
it looks
yeah,
like the Adams family house maybe before they moved in, like when somebody took care of it.
right. And it's pretty fucking haunted if you all believe in ghosts. This place is
Yeah, yeah.
haunted. Even if you don't believe in ghosts, this place is
This place is
haunted.
hot.
Yeah.
I know. Ever since I started doing all this remodeling work around the Pittsburgh house, shit's gotten pretty active around here. I think I've annoyed George. Either that, or George and Dad are having a dispute about who runs things here.
I miss Dad. Oh, hi, Dad.
Yeah. So now you're living, and now comes the part where we always go over the shitty part first so people can relate. But now let's talk about the hopefulness of it all, because you're not in prison. They were going to send you up for 2 years. Instead, you got a parole, probation.
Parole. Yeah, I got paroled.
It was like when they sent me to drug court. You're getting the same thing. This is your chance to prove yourself or hang yourself. You choose.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're going to be stuck here in Pennsylvania for a year after we leave. But But then you can come to Florida too and enjoy the ocean. And
Yeah,
such and such.
I found out. Yeah, I found out yesterday that I have to max out with my parole.
It's like a mandatory max.
Mandatory max out.
Damn, that sucks.
I look like shit, guys. I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. The direct result of meth mouth. I'd have my teeth pulled out.
But you know what? Even before you were hitting the meth really bad, you were having teeth problems. So let's just say, you got yourself clean. You weren't living under a bridge, getting tooth infections, being fucked up. Now you're getting that taken care of, and that means something. But wow, something there is loud as hell, like a car or something.
Sorry, a motorcycle went by.
Oh, okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
I'm
now
so sorry.
You and I, it just went from like this insane level of closeness that shocked everybody to just complete detachment, complete estrangement. And and people have heard me on my when I used to do Smells Like Hope, only audio that's all up on YouTube. I've brought you up several times as I pray that God will straighten your road out for you. And if that happens, then I'll step up and help keep you up along the way. That's my job. That's what's happening right now. I'm glad it's happened because I made a promise to Dad literally days before he died that somehow I will get this family back together. And I look at you. You're the one doing all the work.
Yeah. I mean, something's got to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. I mean,
that's right. Got any more big book quotes you want to throw out?
No. I got to change, though. I mean, I got to do something with this life.
I hear people in groups and in the, like actual going to groups and then the Facebook groups, always very, very down on themselves, saying, I've lost everything. I've lost everybody. Nobody will ever forgive me. I tell people all the time that, yes, they will forgive you. They will forgive you. You just have to show them that it's safe to do it. And I've always waited for this moment. And this moment is proof to everybody watching that it can be fixed. It can come back together. People don't want to hate you. They don't want you to be gone forever. They just want you to be well. They want it to be safe to help you along this road.
That's right. And I thought that for a long time. They just want to hate me. They want to see me die. They gave up on me. And that was my excuse to stay out. That was my excuse to not fix myself.
But people do want the best for you. They do want to help you. And everybody who's watching is thinking, I've lost everything. It doesn't have to be that way. Like, I came out of rehab and like right away, I started fixing my credit and I went out and financed a car like a big boy. Like, who would have ever thunk the Rob who was hip deep in a bag of cocaine would have ever gone out and financed? You remember those piece of shit beers I used to drive? It would be cash. Pay cash, wait till the cops get wise to it, burn it off, go pay cash for another shit box. And it feels so good not to live that life anymore. It does feel good to get well.
It does feel good.
Not at first.
No, not at first. Feels good not to wake up with the shakes, with not fiending for a substance, not obsessing over where you're going to get it. Just now, it feels good to worry about, oh shit, I'm going to be late for work. Like, that's your biggest worry.
Not to wake up and say, hey, somebody shit in my pants.
Or somebody shit in my mouth.
Oh God, I know, right?
I can't laugh.
Wake up.
Don't make me laugh. I have to look up.
You wake up and you peel that film of shit off your mouth, and oh, hi.
I know. It's a dragon in my mouth.
All right, what's up, Young Opiate and Brandon, my dude from the network? What's up, people? Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully this is going out and helping a lot of people. Brandon's my dude. Brandon, I'm sending you that belt. I swear to God, I've just been getting crushed. Been getting crushed lately. Everything's been so busy. Brandon won the championship belt giveaway that we did on Wrestle Shoot.
Oh, okay.
So he
Good
won it
job,
for his,
Brandon.
yeah, he won it for his son. So that was pretty cool.
Sorry I look hideous. I'm so embarrassed about how I look right now. I take pride on my looks, and right now, oh my God.
It does look like it hurts, like right back here.
It hurts
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. And you still made it for the show.
Of course.
That's
I wouldn't miss it.
Commitment to helping people, and that's what the whole Smells Like Hope concept was based on.
I
So
wouldn't miss it.
I mean,
I'm out here smoking like an idiot.
well, smoking isn't what gives you dry socket, it's the suction, so just be careful.
Yeah, I am.
And I want to go back to Chris for a minute. You know, he's hopeful.
My baby.
He hasn't completely abandoned you. He's just watching from a distance, and he's watching how I'm reacting to you right now. Because, I mean, you know, an addict knows an addict, so he knows it. I know what I'm looking for, and he's seeing if I'm finding good or bad. It'll come back around. And Chris has been very standoffish to us as well. I mean, yeah, the boys had a tough one.
I know. He's had a look. He used to go to meetings with me. He was my big supporter, and
Yeah.
I let him down. And I got a lot of work to do, and then a lot of work.
Have I told you that I'm a reverend now?
Yes.
Yeah. Did I tell you why I did it?
No.
This is why I did it. It's not for any kind of I'm going to start a church or a tax job. Brandon says you look fine, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Brandon.
It was like I got this thing done and I tried it out and it worked. I went I was a speaker at an H&I at a Gateway, matter of fact. And at the end of the conversation, somebody said, you know, there's no forgiveness for all the bad that I've done. And I said, nuh-uh, Jack. And I pulled out my little reverence card, my in good standing minister card, actually. I said, now, do you believe in God? And he said, I do. I said, okay. So you might think you're just a piece of garbage, but this card right here means that I am one of the boys as far as God looks at it. And I'm going to hold God accountable for a promise that he made a long time ago, that if you want forgiveness, all you have to do is mean it and ask for it, and you got it. So do you want it? And he just shook his head, yes. I'm not convinced. Do you want it? And finally, I got this guy going, yes, I want it. I said, you got it. Done.
There you go.
Over. You are forgiven. Who else wants it? Some girl's like, I fucking want it. You fucking got it. The whole room, I bet you have thing into a gospel. Oh, I fucking got it.
There you go, man.
That's why I got it. Because forgiveness is out there for everybody. And if it's out there for God, it sure as hell is out there for your family. Your family comes around, your friends will come in. All the people that you burn, guess what? They have treatments for burns, people.
This is living proof right here. Look, people don't understand. With me and Rob, we did not, they don't understand. Like, him and I had not had a relationship for years. This is a miracle right here. Him and I talking right now. This
since before I went to treatment.
Right. Like, this didn't happen overnight, folks. This has been work on my part, his part. We both worked at this relationship to rekindle it. This is not something that just happened. Like, we were on the outs. My mom and I were on the outs. I'm working on my son very slowly. He's helping me with my son, showing him that I'm trying. I'm really trying. I mean, I have 7 months today. I couldn't get 7 seconds. So I couldn't. I
And
didn't
if you
want
did, it was just in the time it took to switch bottles.
it. That's it. I couldn't get it. I didn't want it. I
But
did not want
like
it.
I try to make a little bit light of it right now because we're trying to put all that behind us. But I mean, there wasn't a time that I didn't have an 8 ball in my pocket. I I was constantly high for years. I don't know how I lived through it. I don't know how my heart didn't give out.
I don't either. I don't
Yeah,
either.
it was
I could have got high off your blood.
could have
I
got high
mean,
off my breath.
yeah, if you're right. You could have got drunk off my breath.
I
There was
mean,
a point where the fucking hospital was doing blood alcohols on me. I was blowing 3.8, and they were
yeah,
like, "How the fuck are you alive?"
yeah. How did you survive this? But you
I'm like,
did.
"I don't know. I'm a drunk." They're like, "No. How are you alive?" Like, I don't understand. There's nobody I know that can blow that and be alive. I'm like, I
And
don't know.
there's a reason for it. Everybody. Here's another thing I like to say to people in rehab, and I've said it on my podcast before. People might be tired of hearing it, but you remember Mr. Fox
Yeah, the
from
teacher, science
from
teacher.
Marina? Yeah,
Yeah.
he said a couple things to me when I was a kid that really stuck out and stayed with me for my whole life. One of them was, for some reason, he asked, "What's the difference between bravery and courage?" I said, bravery is when you see a building on fire and you run in to help people and you're not even scared. You're just hoorah and you go. But courage is when you're smart enough to be scared, but you do it anyway. Then he said, another time he asked the question, what is a hero? Odd questions for a science teacher, right? But he said, what's the definition of a hero? So a hero is an ordinary person who whether by their own actions or an unforeseen force has thrust them into extraordinary situations. And if addiction and alcoholism isn't the most extraordinary situation to try to overcome, I don't know what is. But I told them in rehab, everybody walked into this building scared their first day. Nobody knew what was happening or what was coming at them. But you came in anyway and you went through the process, and here you sit in front of me. That shows a great amount of courage. And you are here overcoming these extraordinary situations you've been thrust into. In my opinion, that makes you a hero. This is a room full of courageous heroes. But like all heroes, nobody can do it alone. The cops are a police force. The firemen are a fire department. Even the fucking Justice League works together. So in this room, in all of the rooms, the people watching on this computer right now, keep your weed, be a part of a unit, be a hero, help others, and be open for somebody to help you. Because if you're not, I don't know what else there is. And that goes right back to forgiveness and the hope of being forgiven by people that you have stabbed in the back or wronged or robbed or whatever, whatever you did during your addiction. It can all be forgiven. It can all be overcome. And now you're on the road to, you've got your legals cleaned up. Clearly you're doing well. You're still in your sober living house. You're going to fix up those charges in Pittsburgh. And then you're going to be free to live your life, to move on, to move up. It's going to be great. And we'll get you out to Tampa and everything is going to be wonderful. It just sucks that you got to spend an extra year in god awful Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it does.
I just don't like it here.
Maybe I can rekindle something with Chris. Maybe that's God working and his, he's got a twisted sense of humor. Maybe that's him working.
Yeah. Maybe you won't even come to Tampa. Who knows?
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
I know. Got to get. We're California kids, man. We're ocean dwellers. That's our thing.
Right.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've kind of covered everything, and I feel like we've really backed up some of the things that I've been saying on this podcast for the last year and a half I've been doing it. It's just you're not lost. You're not alone.
No, 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 none of us are. Like, if you feel alone, reach out. Like, just get help. It's never too late. Feel like you feel like you're at the bottom, just reach out, get help. Like me, when I was in prison, I even said, man, this was a blessing. This is what I needed. It's exactly what I needed. As much as I hated it, it's what I needed. It
And
got me
please,
here.
everybody be aware that rock bottom isn't rock bottom, really. There's always another bottom you could break through to, and you don't want to do that. We did that.
Yeah.
Lots of people have done that. If you can avoid it, do. And like I say at the end of every Smells Like Hope, if nobody has told you today, I love you, you are worth good things, and you think that nobody wants to help you, you're looking at two people that you don't even know who would help you. That's got to
Definitely.
count. That's got to count for something. Any closing words of wisdom there, Heimer?
Oh man, I don't think I'm the wisest person out there, but hey,
Still share it around. What you got?
if I can do it, and I'm gonna say, I know you hate this. I know you hate it when
I do
I
hate
know
this.
you hate it, man. I know you hate it, but if I can do it, if I can sit here clean and sober today, God damn it, anybody can. Because I was the most stubborn person out there. I didn't want it, but
I do hate that. Your
he hates
accomplishments
it.
should be very appreciated. Your battle was your battle. My battle was my battle. And you're never going to hear me say, if I can do it, you can do it. Say, God damn it, I did do it. And if you want to do it, you can do it. But not because, like, I'm so sorry and wretched that, oh my God, if I could do it, anybody can do it. Now, fuck that. We're
I am
badass.
sorry, look, I am
We're
wretched.
warriors. We're warriors.
He saved a wretch like me.
All right. On that note, guys, thanks for joining us. Brooke, thanks for coming on. I very confident that a lot of people are gonna take a lot from this.
Thanks for having me on. It's nice to be on here. It's a nice show. It's a good show.
Thanks.
It's positive, and I think more people should be doing this. And I hope a lot of people tune in. I hope I said something that got to somebody. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
All right,
fucking
guys, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna do the exit that Chris Ward hates. I'm gonna say, cut it out.
oh shit.
Whew. All right, I am